So, we are going to talk about the Golden Demons because I was lucky enough last week to go to Chicago and attend Adepticon, and I got to watch and look at all the pretty models from Adepticon, from the Golden Demons at Adepticon, and that's very cool. And then I think it's very cool. So let's talk about them because it was a great painting competition. Um, Now I'll give you a couple of pointers if you've never been there or if you've never done the deed and witnessed it. First of all, the key strategy is always go as late as you can the day before judging. So, for example, the judging is kind of on Sunday noon, I think. So go either Sunday very early morning or Saturday night. That way you get to see the most entries, because what a lot of the top painters do is they wait to the last possible second to enter their pieces. And the reason behind this is that, first of all, you don't get, the judge doesn't get to compare and see it for a longer period of time, so you get this kind of a wow factor by doing that. And so this is kind of the common key is like if you go, let's say, Saturday morning and Saturday afternoon, you miss like about half of them and a lot of the stronger ones as well. So always go late. So I went late on Saturday. That's always my strategy. I do that every year that there's a painting competition, and I get to see bunch of cool models. So let's talk about them a little bit here. I got pulled out a couple of the pictures. Thank you to the Games Workshop website that took really great pictures. And then because they only have pictures of winners, I had to scour the internet for some more. So just a couple, not a lot, but let's talk about a couple of these categories here. So, vehicle gold here this night. This one was really good, and what I'm sad that they don't show is the back, because that's what I was telling Austin when we were looking. Is like these knights are really cool, but one thing that you need to see is the back of the legs, because that's the hard part to convert. And like this guy running and everything, just an amazing model. It looked super cool, and you know I like the base because it doesn't really typically fit what you see knights with, like the green vegetation and whatnot. But a really strong piece, in my opinion. Vehicle for 40k and Age of Sigmar large model were the two strongest categories. Just like the higher end entries, I think these were the stacked ones. If you entered any of these two categories and did not win or did not place, no shame in your game. They were strong. So let's see if this function works here. I've never done this before. Yes. This one, I'm almost shocked that it did not place. There were two. This one I could find a picture. So it was in the vehicle. It's a Ecton Fortress battling out like a Kraken or something. That model looked amazing. I'm curious as to why he didn't put it in a duel, but that model was one of my favorites in the thing. And then there was also Harlequin Rate Knight, and I'm sad that I didn't see any pictures. It was angled weirdly, so it was hard to take pictures. It was like high, but whoever painted the Harlequin Rate Knight, oh, I was very sad that it did not place. Do we have the other? Nope, it goes to large model, which is basically monsters. This one, I was really shocked that it won, actually, because I'm not. It's amazing. Okay, first of all, every time I'm gonna say something like mean about them, just understand it comes with the pretext. It's much better than anything I can do. However, and this is one of the thing of like this on the technical standpoint, that model is amazing. I'm just not a fan of that red and that turquoise and that purpley green. Altogether, for me, the end result for me is just not there, like as a whole effect. That being said, the freaking like purple. Can we zoom? Can we? Oh yeah, there we go. Move. The purple tube that connects like the gun and the other end. Oh my! It is so well done. It's like it looks translucent. It's amazingly well done. But as I said, this one was really not for me. Like overall, I think technically mind blowing, just not not my jam. It's okay. That happens as well. And that's also another big point of this is sometimes some malls they look amazing, but they're maybe the judge is not like that's not his thing. It happens, not you. That's the part where art is subjective because at the end of the day, all these entries are like phenomenal, right? So some of them they come down to taste and like obviously the judge loved that one and it's incredibly proficient like technically. So props to LK. This is really great. And then what do we have? Yeah, this one it's bronze. I thought this one would win. That one was my favorite. I think the weak point for that one is the base, like because it really it's lackluster compared to the rest of the model. But that one was my pony in that race. I loved it. Again, technically so great, and that little like the green that I love so much, that's on there. It just contrasts with every other bright color. So this one was my favorite. I think maybe the base kind of played against it a little bit. If I had to guess, that would be my guess. But that one, I loved it. Truly, I'm sorry, by the way, I don't have all of them in my file, or maybe they're like mislabeled, and we'll get to it later. So we'll see. Slayer Sword winner, Neil Hollis with this amazing Lazarus. I think he's called. This model was phenomenal. It was one of the two that I thought would win. This one was written in all caps on my cell phone. It was the first name on there, so I'm glad that won the Slayer Sword. This model was amazing. Everything about this is amazing. You can't see it now, but the cloak has like a big freehand on it, like big detailed freehand. It's just an amazing model. All non-metallic metals as well, especially like on these the wings on the helmet. It's disgustingly beautiful. Disgustingly beautiful. And then the fun part is I think in my again, I don't know. I'm not privy to what happens in the judge's head, but I think that if this model was like not there, I think this model, the Khan, would have won first place and would have won the sword. In my mind, this one, this Khan and this Dark Angel, they were the two strongest pieces in the entire competition. That dude has like a full freaking like 16 Chapel mural painted on the cloak. It is mind blowing, just completely mind blowing. One thing that I think maybe have swung the balance between the two is that while it is awesome, it fits a little bit less with the 40K imagery, I guess we could say. And I think like when it comes down to this is like I've talked about this in another video, but like when it comes down to like these two super miniature like amazing minis, you go like by amount of like flaws that you can find. So you nitpick every single like little. I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like that. And then like you would never do that in a normal time. But if you have to tell them two apart, and I think the cloak, as awesome as it was, because it was a little bit too, I'll say eccentric. Maybe I think maybe it nudged the other one before. But in my mind, this one and the Dark Angel were the top two in the entire show. I think it's just unfortunate they were both same category, same year, because Alexandre dos Santos definitely deserves gold for this piece. It's just amazing. And then this one was fascinating because it contrasts the other two. Like it's a very great model, but it looks all cartoony, and I thought it was fascinating to see just the contrast between this one and the other one go through. Like I love everything about this. It's such an orc model, like to the T. Like everything is orcish about it. Even the gun flare, the muzzle flares on it. It's just so great. So, and then the you have to remember this is rather small because what's on top is a Gretchen, right? So it's not like a big thing. But I love this one, especially because it's so different than the first two. Next category, squad. This squad is I always find it weird. This one was amazing, but Like, it was amazing. Honestly, nothing. I have nothing bad to say about it. I looked at it. I was like, this is really cool. I like the fact that this is kind of like cheating. Like, this is bending the rules. Like, squad is the category where reading the rules entirely gets you points, and this one's a good example where that's Creed in the middle. Creed is not a part of this thing, you know. So it's a unit, and then Nicola Mortensen chose to do his unit with a command squad piece and then a couple of like veteran piece, and then the Creed on there, so it allows him to use the single kind of category of a miniature and then put it into a squad. And I think that's great. That's just like smart play. And then the entire diorama fits the team so well. So that one really cool. That one I loved that one, and I thought it would not win because I thought it was too far away from GW's use of things. Like, the base is amazing, but it does not look like Games Workshop stuff, and they tend to in the past they've tended to penalize people that did that. So I'm glad to see it won because the Corsairs on there are just like so sweet. That turquoise is like crisp. It's just amazing. So I'm really glad to see it won because when I looked at it, I was like, the base is like I like it, but I just thought it was like just a little bit too far-fetched, I'll say. So really cool. And then this one, this is another one of those things of it's a squad because it's a collection of model, but this is just like a mismatch of like Necromunda stuff, which again, it's in the rules and that's how you do it. So you get to pick like all the cool miniatures and make a warband with it that they fit together. And this is a good example of like the base style. Like, this is much more Games Workshop than this one if you compare just the bases, right? Like this, just like the silver, and then the terrain itself. But yeah, this piece here was really great. And squad is always such a tricky category because I would tell like 5 dudes apart from like 30 poxwalkers or something. Like, this is a wild category because you never know what's gonna win because they're all so different. What's after this one? Yes. Oh yes. That one was so dope. I love it because this is the one I was like looking at it and I was like, this model is perfect, and yet I don't like it. And I was watching it with Kinder, and Kinder was like, it's my favorite. I love everything about this. And this model is just so great. Like, again, on a technical standpoint, everything on there is just like so smooth. Like the skin tone, the greenish skin tone. Oh my god. Oh, it is beautiful. But just the overall color for that, I don't like that model to begin with. Like, it's a hard sell for me. I don't like that model at all. But man, it is so thick. And Kinder was like, yeah, this is the one, Max. This is the one. And he was right. It was right. That model did win, and it is superb, for sure. Kragnos, that's his name. I kept searching for the name. This one. This is my favorite model. I picked this one for a very simple reason. I think we'll see it later. Sorry, this is another. I thought I wasn't sure if he won, so I saw a picture online. I was like, I need this one. Another unit, the Age of this one. I love that one. It was in a very neat place where you could see both sides of it really clearly. Like, I think it was prompted forward or something, and it was really easy to see. And you could see that the OSL, like the glow from the base, it was like so well done because all 360 degrees on it were like so well achieved. Like, because you could turn and then you didn't lose this effect. Sometimes these big OSL thing, if you don't look at the right angle, you kind of lose it. But not this piece, and I think that's what might have pushed it to the top. But like, just look at that, like that red glow. Oh, so well done. And again, this guy Michael Thomas, really smart. He picked 3 warriors only, minimum unit size 3. Cool. We're doing the champion, the banner, and the drummer. Thank you, goodbye. You don't need to crowd your thing. 3, execute them to perfection. Thank you, goodbye. Boom. Checks in the mail. And then the other two, this is the war. But I love this because they're very similar to the guy we painted yesterday. They're much better than the ones we painted on stream yesterday. But I Nurgle in the muted like green and the grayish green is just my jam. I love this a lot. And I'm glad that they're there. And then the third one, this is my favorite one. Again, this has no business being in the unit category because this is like a plague champion, Spoilpox Scrivener, and whatever Spoilpox Scrivener and Bile Piper, something Bile Piper, whatever. Like this is like not a unit. This is 3 characters. Like if you take like a fine saw and then you just like chop his display board in 3 pieces, you have 3 singles right there. But then again, it's in the rules. They're all in the same army, so this is a fine example of like reading the rules correctly and then choosing what you can do and enforcing it. Because like if you look at these 3 models and then you compare with like 3 plague bearers, like why would you not pick those? Like there's so much more detail, so much more personality in them. So a very smart play. But then you look at it from a unit standpoint. Like, and if I was a person doing I don't remember what it was, like 10 Lumineth or something, 10 elves of some sort, and I would see this and like not really read the rules or understand, I would be furious about this. Because you look at it and like, but that's not a unit. But it is. So I like that. I include that one just because I could talk about that point. And then next up, what we had? Oh yes, the diorama. Oh man, that piece was like amazing. I thought it would not win because I thought they would like be very because this is mostly like scratch built and like heavily converted. Like this Emperor model, I don't know where it's from. But I would be like, I think I don't know how the process worked, and I'm pretty sure he had to like prove or explain how he made it, because they're very stingy about like not about like like the 3D printed stuff and third party stuff, right? Like this is Games Workshop company and Games Workshop mall, and this one, it like none of them they exactly what it is, right? But the Horus does not look like the actual Horus. The Emperor does not look like the actual Emperor, and the Sanguinius does not look like the actual Sanguinius. So, and I wasn't sure if, but like it's so amazing. Everything is amazing on this piece. Like there's glow, and then the glow from the Emperor's sword is glowing on the Horus. It's got dramatic lighting. That piece is just so good. And then the background is done exactly like the art, like the classic art. It's such a great. I'm so glad that it won. A lot of people add that for Slayer Sword, but yeah, that piece. Oh my god, so good. Like chef's kiss good. It's really amazing. Oscar Lars met this fine gentleman. Was friends with my friends, and he said I had a diorama, and I hope it wins. And it's a Kaljarico. Well, Oscar, you made it, buddy. No, just a great piece. I love this one because again, this one is like such a narrative little piece. It's 2 models, but they're you know exactly what they are. You know exactly what they do. It's just such a great piece because it's simple, it's to the point, and it keeps the narrative going, which is a hard thing for diorama. Diorama is not just like the unit before, like you had like the line of models. That's not a diorama. It's like a mini story, right? That's what you want to kind of create, and that's the feel. That hard to put words to, like the feel of the piece. And I think this one captures it really, really well. Next up, we have that one. I don't like that one. I like the feel of it. I just don't the yellow and purple Gene Zero for me is like, why is that there? And like just like I don't get it. Like again, from a technical standpoint, it's just so great. And that like sniper dude is amazing. But the yellow and purple thing, what? It makes no sense. Like, why? It makes no sense in this. Everything is just like fitting, and it's dark, and it's got like this ambiance to it, and then there's this purple and yellow fucktard on this piece. Makes no sense to me. Like, remove that pipe and that model, or gold. That's right. Put that in your emperor pipe and Oris and smoke it. But that piece is like, it makes no, that little guy makes no sense. I'm hopefully somebody gets like super pissed at me in the comments and explain it, and it makes more sense. But I love everything about it except that like it steals the attention. Like, you view it and then you immediately you have to look at that purple and yellow thing instead of like that cool main sniper. It makes no sense. It makes me mad. Also, let's move on. Yes, this one I think was the fan favorite. I'm glad it got gold. Johan, what's his name? Is it Johan, right? Johan the villager running away from the giant squig, and then the squig hoppers. This piece again. This could have been a duel. This could have been a diorama. This could have been a large monster. I think it would blow everybody out of the water. This is just a great piece. I like it because you look at the piece and instantly you know exactly what's going on. Like, you just get it, and so you get the feel. And then the more you look, the more all these like small details into, especially like the goblins and everything. It's just such a good piece. That one, very very good piece, and fan favorite. Definitely fan favorite across the board. It helps that Sergio is like a really really nice guy too. Helps with the fan. This one I'm sad because I did not see it, and I think it's the only piece in the entire thing that I had not like looked at and go like, oh yeah, it's something like. I had no. I don't even think I saw this model. Maybe I went before it got entered. But I mean, again, this is a very like unique style. I think if you line up like 30 models like this, none of them are painted like this. Just like the colors in there are great. What bugs me is I didn't see it. I missed it. So I missed one. Next up, do we have bronze? Yeah, that one was my favorite. I thought, as cool as the squig was, I thought this one would take it because it's just mind blowing. That one was my favorite. Such a cool that thing is, you understand it exactly, and I like that it's not just like two malls like kind of collaborated together. That's my problem with that one. The thing I don't like, if I have to nitpick and be an asshole, which I'm on YouTube, so might as well. This is a banshee, and then this is an incubi, and they're placed in front of one another, and that's a duo. It's that one. He's running away from the thing, and then these two heavily get like that giant is not just like a giant standing and a dragon standing there. That dragon is like attacking, and the giant is like turning around. Like it's there's like fighting involved. So that one was my favorite in that category. I thought that one would win. Good bronze, but it was just this one just great, just great. The open again, the orc that took it, probably fully scratch built, just a great piece. I love the skin, like I'm a sucker for bright green, but no, this one was really good. I thought it was really close between this one and the yellow Imperial Fist, but this one is just great. The skin was more detailed, mind blowing in person, because like you're missing a couple of the ins from these pictures, but the skin was like so great on this one. This one as well is another one of like, and I understand because this is another like real cool. I don't know if that's what Neil was going for, but it's like another old school strategy. Is like, this is a single model, and Neil won the Slayer Sword, remember. So yes, this guy and Lazarus the Dark Angel. So what a lot of people do is usually they wait and they look and then they see which one between the open and the singles is weakest, and then they put their best piece in what they think is the weakest one in order to win. Because this guy here qualifies as either probably, you know. And then same thing for the Dark Angel because he's got a big base. So I think he brought 2 entries and then he kind of audibled it day of like which one's the open and which one's the single. So it's a great piece. It's really open is such a wild thing. Like you got open is literally whatever, like whatever. So there's a lot of scratch build, which is the case for the Snickrot and this guy. I think that's right. Big ass like that's a that's a big model. It was really cool. I liked it a lot. The weakness in this one, I think, are the scratches on the armor. At least in my mind, when I looked at it, the instant like flaw of the, if I had to judge, like if I had to judge this, there's a couple like scratches in the armor that are like painted, but in my mind they were a little bit too thick, in that they were kind of the same scale as we do on our regular miniatures, but on a bigger one. So I think maybe maybe that part is the weak point in this mob, but is just like a big bold yellow with like super deep shading. I mean this piece is just like great, and I like the realistic sized sword as well. Like that sword is like much smaller than what you'd see on a Games Workshop model, in a realistic setting. Obviously this is like a like a super huge fucking super engineered human, but still I like this piece a lot. That one, this piece here, very interesting. I'm sorry, I know it won gold. I'm gonna assume it's for Age of Sigmar Single Mini, and this piece here is one of my favorite for multiple reasons. First of all, it's great. And I'm pretty sure it won. I'm sorry I don't have the official picture. I don't have the name. My apologies. But so this is part of the big Slanesh guy, on the throne and everything. And this piece is a killer for multiple reasons. First of all, it's amazingly well painted, and second of all, there were 2 of that full model as well on like in the competition, in the Age of Sigmar like monsters, right? And that's really interesting because then you get to judge apples to apples, and that's why this model I think is a killer, and that's why in the monsters, in the Age of Sigmar monster, you don't see any of the other 2, is because now you get to compare. So for the other 2 models that were there, and again I don't have pictures, they did not win, did not place, but you get the other 2 guys, and they're painted in a very similar scheme, so it's really easy to pick like, well, which one's your favorite? They're very similar. One of them is better than the other, so that instantly kind of places you on top. But then you have this guy who's just like the same dude removed from the big war machine thing, and then you get to compare. Is this model better than the larger one? And then so this guy effectively knocked out 2 people just by being there. At least that's what I think, because if you have to compare, like you get to compare exactly. This guy's worth gold. He's the best in that category. And then you have the 2 others, and then you get a direct comparison of how good is this. So this year I didn't bring anything. I kind of joked around. I said, if I was packing only 1750 points for my 40k army, I would have room for 1 model. I don't think I would have placed. I have not put much effort into competition painting for a while, but it kind of sparked my creative juices. I might give it a whirl for maybe next year, maybe some local, just to get back in and just see if I want it. So we'll see. But I love these painting competitions. There's a sort of local one coming up soon, so maybe I do a little review on that one. I'll try to attend it just to see these prizes, see these models. Sorry, and give you what's what. If you guys like this video, make sure you like it, or you comment and you call me all sorts of names, because maybe I just did your favorite model in that competition dirty just now. I don't know. You guys tell me.